Sessions, where the balanced fun hoes go for spiritual enlightenment while still being a little risque.
Recently, another part of what attracted me to like gangsterism is that they were those young men of color were being treated just like me, but they like responded with dignity. They're like, "Oh, you gonna make me the enemy? How about this? Fuck you, you're the enemy." Yeah. And I'm gonna get tattoos all over my face and body and just look like I used to want to get terrorist tatted across my neck. I just hated society so much from making me the enemy. From literally the first time I ever got suspended, I was 4 years old. You know, just like enemy eyes as so young that you take on the message like, got it. It's all y'all versus me, and I'm either gonna try to appease you like my dad and my little brother. I feel like that was their way. Like my dad grew up in the projects. But he was always like, I've never been arrested. I'm a straight A student. I'm a Republican. I'm a like, star athlete. Like that was my dad's way of responding to society, treating him like the enemy. And I feel like one of my little brothers responded in that way too. And for me, it was like, oh, fuck me. No, watch this. Like I'm about to show you. Like if that's how you're going to treat me, you know? Yeah. So that was the other thing that attracted to me. And so I just wanted to say that part of it.
But I think that's important because especially in impressionable years where you are like yearning for approval, yearning for just like a place, right? To be seen, to be understood, to be heard. And it's like, oh, you and I share this common ground. We're friends now. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it may not even be a thing that's you're seeking, but it's just like, it's what's for you. It's like the opportunities that are just like in your face.
I mean, you feel like you were trying to, in middle school, you're trying to make friends. Like, you don't want to feel like an outcast, but I feel like even as an adult, like, you want friends. You don't want to feel like an outcast. And I feel like as adults, I'm sure many, many men kind of just go with what their friends are into or, like, go with those ideas. So my question really is, like, did you just kind of, like, start making a transition and, like, let me kind of dumb down what I really feel or, like, what I think or...
Like, in real time, did you notice it happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was an active choice. Literally, when I got to our middle school, Patrick Henry Middle School, first day, I had my little lizard, the little gecko shirt, Gecko Hawaii with the little
fact that
lizard,
you remember
sunglasses.
This? Wait,
we had them outfits laid out.
October 24th.
No, okay. Got it.
How about you?
I'm February. I'm an Aquarius.
Oh.
Tracks. Okay, got it. Proceed.
She's like, all right, now we're here.
But you got there with your gecko shirt.
I got there with my gecko shirt. I was just fully in my my nerd self, and by literally winter break, I had never been racialized to my knowledge before that, you know. And literally by winter break of that same year, so from September to like December, when December came, my whole Christmas list was like FUBU. Fat Farm. Like, it was like, I came back.
I'm about to get myself together.
Literally. I came back from winter break, like, completely dressed different. Clothes 3 sizes bigger than I came in. Like, I was just a whole different version of myself because I learned that my version of myself was not okay.
Yeah.
It was not, like, the wave, you know?
Yeah.
And then as I got even older than that, it was like, by the time we got in 7th grade, you know, it was... smoking weed and then like selling weed and then getting in our little clique fights and the little like blacks versus the Latinos fights at school and like shit just you know, and like I never stopped being myself. Like even our little clique that we had in middle school, I was like this is so embarrassing. I used to I put together like a weekly calendar of how we were all finna dress.
I remember this.
No, do you
I remember
really?
it was like black shirts one day, the khakis another day, and then the girl version of y'all, because y'all had your clique, so we were like, oh, well, we need a clique too.
No, and
then we said, oh, well, they got fits every day. Well, we need fits every day.
I remember this now.
Yes.
I
like pink shirts Wednesday,
yes.
Pink shirts Wednesday. Say less.
We are coming in sync, dude.
We gotta match the boys' energy.
That's hilarious.
The shit we used to be doing. Wait, do you remember we played hide and go freak and I fell and I split open my fucking leg?
Yes. And that was what we were playing? I had no idea that's what
that
we were
playing. That is definitely what we were playing. It was all because of Leon and Fungia's nasty ass trying to do them. I'm sorry for exposing y'all. We had two friends that were dating, and they were the little it couple of the school, and they wanted to play hide and go freak, so we all played hide and go freak. I didn't make it. I fell.
I was like, what game was I playing? Because I just watched it all happen. Like, was I playing? Damn.
I don't even know if he was playing. It might have.
I just remember seeing you jump and, like, rip your whole leg open. We're like, oh, my God. And, like, the ambulance came and some more shit.
No, every time some traumatic shit happened to me in middle school, Cece was there. Every time I was arrested, Cece would be right there.
Not me being the comment delegator.
No, not because of you though.
Fucking weird.
Well, we
It's
just did a
getting
lot of
fucking
what?
weird,
It's getting fucking weird in here.
Sorry. Back to the thing. Toxic masculinity is fucked up, y'all. Let it be.
It's gross. It's disgusting. How do you feel like men can kind of break that down in themselves? Like,
Yeah.
how did you go about that? How did you, like, help others in this program? Kind of, like, how do you even start addressing that?
I was blessed in that when I was 14, I was trained as an organizer, and I was brought into community organizing, where I got to learn, like, the theory and the practice of organizing and hear these words like patriarchy and stuff like that and read those texts at that time, and they rang very true for me. Reading Bell Hooks' work when I was 14 rang very true to me because she was really describing me.
Yeah.
And that I think what I learned and what I really learned doing success stories was it's just about like building the practice of being confident in our true selves.
Yeah.
And knowing that the stories we're told about what actually makes us valuable is not true. And it's very, very hard to literally go against, like, patriarchy is like the religion of the world, you know? Like,
world.
it's very hard to, like, go against the world with your...
Since the beginning of time.
Right.
I mean, maybe not the beginning of time,
like
but
the last 10,000 years.
as far back as they're gonna teach you, at least.
Yeah. Like,
As far past, not even that they're going to teach you, but as far past as anyone can teach you. That's in your world, right then and there.
in our world,
In life.
yes.
Yeah,
But
in
I think
our
it's
world, like,
important.
unless you go
I should
digging
say.
on your own, it's like this. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
about the men. Men have held
Yeah.
us down. That's who got us here.
But it's actually not that old. And I think that's an important point. Like, it's only been since, like, the invention of farming. So it's only been, like, 12,000-ish years that it's been like this. Because
Only.
once they had... But human beings have been around for
Right.
200,000 years.
So-
So for most of human history, we didn't have patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Once we had farming, then we had the idea of, like, this is my land.
Yeah.
And what makes land your land? Like, how can you really say this is my mic? The only way I can say this is mine is if I'm willing to do something to it if you say it's yours.
Right.
So by saying this is my land, it required violence.
Right.
And then if this is my land and I'm growing my food, when before it was like we all picked food, we all hunted, we all shared. But now it's like, no, this is my land, this is my food. We used to all just fuck. Babies would come out, baby belonged to everybody. Baby call everybody mom and dad, you know? Because
Yeah.
we don't, you know who the mama is, you don't always know who the father of baby is, you know? But now it's like, this is my land, this is my food, so I don't want to be feeding everybody. I'm only going to feed my kids, which means I have to control my woman to make sure
Right.
she's not fucking anybody else. So that is where all that shit came
Yeah.
from. And it's really not that old, and we really can undo it. And people undo it all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I love seeing people break it down. Like,
Yeah, I
And
love that
just-
you're challenging that. I
Yes.
feel like you're going to change the world.
I'm hoping to be a
You're-
part
you're
of
one
it.
of
Shit.
them.
you're already
Yeah.
changing. You're already changing
are
the world
changing the
for
world.
sure.
Man, y'all changing the world. Hold on.
We just want to bring healing and love and light to people.
Right.
That's
I mean,
what you're
shit that
doing.
took
Really
years to
love.
get. I'm like, wow.
Free
Like,
game.
you just exposed
Free
me quite a
game.
bit, which actually I'm really glad.
But
Because
I
I feel
think-
like people who do know me, like, have known me, just, they're like, see, you've really changed. Like, you really are a different person. I'm like, thank God. Well, you're here.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
grown.
yeah, there's other
you're
people.
supposed
Like,
to
if
do.
I knew 10 years ago what I knew now, and I could address some things in myself, like, so many things I could have avoided. I could have been so much further along. But it's like, I needed to experience certain things so that I could share that with other people. And I feel like that's a big reason, you know, it's not ideal to go to prison, but I feel like a lot of that made you who you are now, and, like, help you. I mean, it helped you start to unlearn and, like, realize a lot about yourself, I'm sure.
I mean, honestly, I was already doing that. I don't want to edify the system in any way. When I got locked up, I want to be really clear. When I got locked up, I had stopped selling drugs. I had a job. I was in college. Me and Zach were running a record label. Me and Hassan were running a clothing company. Like, I was on my shit. I got my first apartment. I paid off all my tickets. I got off probation. Like, that's what I was on
You're like
when I got arrested.
getting your ducks in a row.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
like-
I'm not saying, like, prison is what made it happen for you. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, like, a lot of your story can relate. I feel like relate to somebody else. Is what I mean. That's what I mean. Not that prison changed you. Hell no.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, like, I feel like someone else can look at you and be like, damn, like, okay, he's been through hell and back, and like, look what he can contribute. Like, I can do anything too. And I feel like if you can like help somebody find themselves, like,
That's a
then
big-
then all the bullshit I've been through, it's like, all right, like I can take that.
Yeah, it had to go through. I think, well, it's like just intentionality. It's like life. Like everything
It's
happens
like,
for a
yeah,
reason.
none of that shit should have happened.
And yeah, like, not that it's like,
Hell
of
no.
course, you can wake up fucking tomorrow and it's like, damn, I lost my leg. Like, not that anything that it's just like it all is contributing to the big Ethernet picture,
I
universal
love that you said
world.
Ethernet.
Like,
Hell yeah.
it's just like it's everything.
I love that the
like,
big picture still needs a cord to plug in to get internet. This nigga was born in the 90s for sure.
Hey,
She
hello.
said-
Come on now.
Where's the
I know
Ethernet?
AOL, dial-up. No,
Grab
but
the Ethernet. No,
I
yes,
feel
I
like
hear
it's,
you though.
everything is like it's all intertwined.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's all made you who you are. Like all of the pieces, all of the learning, discovering.
And the people that you met there that you're able to help now,
Yeah.
I think that is like
Even
a
if
beautiful.
it's just
Thank you.
like
thing
if
to
it's
see.
if it's just helping change people that you were exposed to way of thinking, like if you were able to be a vessel in their life, like I feel like that's what it's all for.
Yeah, I think it's a blessing. I feel like there's like I don't want to be like there's this scripture, but there is.
What
No,
is it?
go
Let's hear it.
on.
Because
I don't
sometimes
know
Jay
it.
be hitting me with scripture, so come on, let's hear it.
Yeah.
There's something that says like everything happens for the glory of God or something like that.
All things work together for the greater good.
Let's go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know? And I feel like I remember I used to think about that in prison a lot. And I think that we have a choice. Like we're given things and we can always choose the path that is like God's will, or we can not choose that.
Yeah.
Like you can get put in a fucked up situation, like being in prison, and you can even in that fucked up situation try to choose like where is God's will here? Where is the goodness here? Where is the opportunity for me to tap into my purpose even in this situation?
Right.
Or not, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I try when I'm at my best. I try to just find like where is God's plan for me here? Like where can I be my best here, even in this situation?
Yeah. That's amazing. I love that for you.
Thank
Touching
you.
my heart right now.
I know.
What else were we gonna talk about? I feel like there was. I think that's.
You know, I have a question it's probably not even on brand, but I feel like there is. Never is it?
Like, well, what's the
But-
question?
Let's get the off-brand questions
I
going.
feel like, listen, I feel like with, like, I guess contributing to the conversation of, like, toxic masculinity, right? Of, like, black men, especially, of, like, you have to be this, you have to be this, you have to be that. And anything otherwise, it's like, you're a pussy, you're gay, you're this, whatever. And I feel like I've seen, and maybe it's just that I've gone to Atlanta fucking 7 times within the past 2 years, way more than whatever anyone needs to go. But I feel like what I see is like a lot of men, or just a rise, I guess, as a whole, of men that are down low, or like, I guess not really being their true self, but they're also like, there's this rise also of like, black men that are super homophobic. And it's like, where is the correlation? I've always thought it was so interesting and like cool to just like think about of like, why is that? Like, why? I don't understand if it's just a thing, I guess, obviously, of like being a black man living in this world of like, yeah, this is what you have. This is your playing field. These are the challenges. These are the things that are coming at you. And I guess just life would
I feel
make
like
it be
there's
like
two
that. But I
sides to
feel like
that.
it's
It's like-
like
what you're taught. So I think some men are just like, oh, like I despise this because that's what was already ingrained in me. And then I think there's the projection side where it's like, I'm actually curious about this on the low, but I don't want anyone else to know that or think this. So like,
Yes.
fuck that. I'm just gonna like dehumanize and like
Over
attack these
homophobic.
people. Yeah, it's like I'm just like really.
well, I think
go
too,
hard
yeah,
with
like,
this.
don't cry, like boys don't cry, or toughen up, or it's this or that, or whatever. But I feel like there is that of like, even with like being super vulnerable with men, whether it's sexually or whatever, and it's like, oh, you know, you have a G spot in your butthole. And
Well, it's like I feel like we've always disagreed about like that subject.
Well, yeah,
it's like you're like, I don't need my man getting all that with me, and I'm like, yeah, like if that's what we're on, I just I don't think
it's necessarily like, I feel like I'm all for exploring. I'm all for having fun, and I think that when you create a safe space, it's interesting to see how men can be vulnerable in that sense without it. Like, it's like, you know that this is a safe, like, nobody's gonna judge you, nobody's gonna like think, oh, you do this, like, if I put my finger up your butt, like, oh, now I'm gonna think you're fucking gay. No, I think it's more so just like, and it's not to think that I at all think that after that experience happened that I was like, oh, I looked at him any different. I think you're still like a hardcore, like,
you're talking about a real story.
We have this conversation often, okay? We both have been in men's booties, and it just is what it is. And I don't feel like it's weird, like, but when I talk to other people about it, sometimes it gets really weird, and I can tell they tense up, like, oh, what? Like,
I think there's a little bit of levels, no?
What do you mean?
Like a fucking full dildo.
Hold on. This shit is going way left. I don't need to be more exposed.
Okay, we're gonna just cut it.
Wait, you're about to go full Aquarius right now. We need to know.
Okay, well, like, Jay's like a finger, like, whatever, that's fine. But, like, I've pegged people, and...
Yo, could you tell me what pegging is?
Pegging is when, like, a woman, like, uses, like, a dildo or something on a man.
So it's specifically when a woman uses a dildo... On a man.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Yeah.
I see it all the time, and I didn't know if a peg is a specific kind of toy. You know, I was locked up, like,
I don't know,
shit.
I thought it was like a little, like, a fucking...
Anything.
Yeah, I thought it was
like
a thing.
Like a plug.
No, you can use anything.
Peg,
strap
plug.
on, hands, like, whatever. Sizes, whatever. Like, whatever you...
What was the last thing you said?
Strap on, size, like,
But
different
see,
sizes. Like,
and I think
that's
that
just anything inserted, like, you know,
It's called
is pegging.
Only when it happens to men.
Like, when a woman does it to a man, that's what it's called.
That's called pegging.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And I like it. I like it. So what?
Have fun.
But you know what? I feel like it's exactly that. It's like you created a safe space for someone that wasn't necessarily like that would have been their bag, and they felt vulnerable and comfortable enough with you to be vulnerable in that way. Like, yeah, bust it open. You know what I mean? Like,
bust it open.
Oh my God. Wait, so what was your question, Jay? What was the initial question?
I was just why do you just think that black men are so homophobic?
Well, a lot of black men are not.
Mm.
And some black men are, I think, because and Bell Hooks talks about this, like, men who have, white men and rich men have access to patriarchy because they got money.
Yeah.
If you don't have money, your only access to patriarchy is through, like, violence and domination and all the other things that give us, like, patriarchal validation.
Right.
So Bell Hooks talks about how oftentimes black men and just, like, men of color, poor men, are more violent or, like, willing to, like, I remember I was locked up with a dude that killed a dude because dude called him the B word in front of his friends. Like, he was willing to get a life sentence and kill a person over that. But it's like, when your whole value in society and the world is based on how much of a man you are,
right,
then that's how you're going to act. And it's so interesting because in prison, white and outside of prison, like, white dudes be so much more comfortable.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And
like,
I guess that's maybe why I'm asking about the black man side of it, because I feel like it's really just black men that I feel like it's more prevalent and, like, no homo. Pause. And
black
it's
men
like,
have more to lose.
Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, you're talking to me. It's cool.
Yes, black men have more to lose.
Yeah, white men, like, you could be a white man and be and you know, explore these things, which I think it's beautiful to explore whatever you want to explore. But I'm saying that idea of, like, if you lose, like, your patriarchal masculine card, it's like, no, I don't, bro. I have a fucking boat.
Still got money.
The fuck? You mean, like, that's why all the time, and that's why it's wild that white men get to make decisions on black cases ever, because these white judges and DAs are like, I can't put myself in the mindset in which I would gangbang, so you must just be evil. No, dumbass. We live in two different worlds.
Yeah.
Two
Of course you wouldn't
complete different
gangbang.
Right.
You have
You would
family
never need
stocks
to.
and a trust fund, and like
Yeah.
college was just like the automatic for you. That
Yeah.
we had to go uphill to go to college.
Right.
Like the shit that was automatic to us was this negative shit, you know,
Right.
was drugs and blah blah blah, this hard nigga shit. So yes, when my whole value as a man, when my value on the planet is based on how gangsta I am as a man, yes, niggas are gonna be extra homophobic, gonna be extra violent, gonna be extra I don't smile in pictures, you know, because it's like my humanity and what gives me value can be taken from me at any minute. And I feel like that's why the work with men is to show us like your value can't actually be taken from you at any minute, and it's not based on those things, and all that shit is a lie. And you
Right.
can be yourself and you will feel better,
Yeah.
you know.
Yes, you will feel better
Mhm.
by just being you,
Mhm.
whatever that looks like.
Men get so defensive because we're like, wait, I've been told my whole life this is what gives me value, and now y'all are telling me to stop it. You ain't finna trick me. You ain't
Yeah.
finna get me up out of my, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Word
nah,
does.
like there's a freedom on the other side of letting down those walls.
More men need to do this. Do you guys hear this?
Can you say that one more time? There's a freedom to what?
There's a freedom on the other side of letting down those walls.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Literally.
Like, do what's true to you, what makes sense for you. I do feel like what you're essentially saying is it's kind of an act. It's an act to
Yeah.
uphold this persona so that I'm accepted still and so that no one judges me. But this act includes you judging so many other things
Mm-hmm.
that really don't even matter, like, to you.
Yeah.
Like, no one else, what they're doing should really matter to you unless it's harming you.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be in the act for so long that it doesn't feel like an act anymore.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, this is who I am.
Yeah, and it's like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I remember I stopped gangbanging when I was in prison, and I literally was like, damn, like, if I'm not Lil Bone, I don't know who I am. Like, who am I? I didn't know where to
Identity
sit.
crisis.
I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to
Right.
talk. Like, in my mind, I still talk to myself in, like, I still speak Crip in my mind, but I just don't do it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, but, like, I didn't know
Forever
how
fly
to be.
crippin' in here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just because you do it for so long. But, like, yeah, I remember I had said, I was always clear that I was, like, playing a role. And I remember I was in prison and I was in this group of dudes, and I had said that, like, we're all faking anyway. And there was this dude who was like, bro, don't assume everybody's experience is yours. Like, maybe you were very clear that you were playing a role, but he's like, this is the only person I've ever been. I've been like this since I was 2-3 years old. My dad gangbang, my grandpa gangbang, my uncle's gangbang. Like,
That's real.
and that was a wake up call for me and showed me where some of my privilege lies.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of dudes, like, they didn't have a sense of their personality before this. But in my heart, I believe there was a time that you did, even if you were hella young.
Yeah, I think that then that's the thing with, like, you see it with young kids. It's like that innocence, and it's like, I remember someone telling me something about, like, smoking weed and stuff, and it was like, I never knew my parents smoked weed for forever, and it's like, I think parents now, it's like, it's cool. It's not that you have to, like, shun your children or, like, protect them, but I think, like, we need to do a better job at protecting the children's innocence. Like, let them be a kid.
And explore. I feel like that's something that should go down even into schools, though. Like, letting kids explore what they're already excelling in and what they already enjoy. I think we always try to, like, okay, yeah, he does great here in math, but he sucks here in science, so we're going to focus on what he's already bad at, rather than, like, let's elevate over here where he's already doing great. And I think there should be more.
Yeah.
I mean, like, art is fucking dying. Like,
Yeah.
kids love that shit when they're little, and, like, by middle
insane.
school, it's either one way or the other. Like, they're either deep in it or just kind of
Do you guys
forgetting
I
about
feel like
it.
in elementary school we had like band and stuff. It was in our curriculum. Is that
like
like
music.
yeah?
That's cute. No.
No, we didn't.
Not to, like,
Did
middle
you
school,
not
I
go to
don't think.
LAUSD? You're not from LA.
I
huh?
was
She's out in the dirt.
grew up in Palmdale.
Got it. But is it LAUSD in
I
Palmdale?
think it's like high desert. It might be high desert something.
Oh, interesting. Well, LAUSD is trash. No, we didn't have no. We didn't have none of that.
But there's been like a decline in arts programs
Mhm.
over the past like whatever, and there's a rise in something else that's probably detrimental. But There's
These
been
are
a
the
decline
hard
in it.
stats. Jordan is giving us the hard stats, okay? There's been a decline in art since whenever and a rise in something detrimental, and y'all need to fix that
So
shit.
just fix it. Period.
Fix it. I don't know. I can figure it out. I can't do your job for you. What is that?
But it's wrong. So there's that. You have referred, I think this is going to be my last question, but you've referred to yourself before as a feminist. Do you still refer to yourself as a feminist?
Yeah, of
and why is
course.
that important to you? And like, what does that mean to you?
Yes, I refer to myself as a feminist. I think it's important that men identify as feminists because it's a way of letting people who are not men know, like, I'm with you, like, I see you, and I'm gonna go out of my way to
Yeah.
undo how fucked up the world is. At the very least in my own behavior. And I have homies who are like, I fuck with a lot of the shit you say, bro, but I would just never call myself a feminist. And I'm like, bro, that's corny. Like, I
Why are
encourage you
so
to.
hung up on
Like, do you
that?
even know
Yeah.
what the word means?
Yeah, but what I hear when they're saying that is I'm actually not willing to give up that part of like my patriarchy card and like show that kind of solidarity with people who I still at some level feel like I get my value through dominating. Like, you know,
It's so crazy because I think it's like with dominating, with oppression, it's like how can you be the oppressor and oppress?
mm-hmm.
You know,
But we
what I
are,
mean?
though.
But
And why are you okay with
We
that?
are. So many people are both, and I think
Yeah.
I think where black men get caught up a lot, and white women too, is like we're so familiar with the way that we are oppressed, and it's hard for us to see ourselves as also contributing to other people's oppression.
Right.
But yes, you can both be oppressed and oppressing at the same time, and most human beings do that because there are areas in our lives where we're privileged and we act like it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Because I be playing my pretty privilege.
I think that works a little different, but
I'll just fuck with you guys.
It's not harming nobody. It ain't tricking if you got it.
I know that's right.
Wise words. Wise words is what I leave you with. Thank you.
I have just loved you being here so
I
much.
Same.
This is-
I've had a great time.
Our first
Warmed my
guest
whole
on the
heart.
show. You can come back.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is clearly the way it was supposed to be. There was supposed to be a guest before you. Things fell through, and I just feel like clearly universe said, nah.
Wow.
need Richie here first.
Richie
Yeah.
Rich.
I'm super honored. I'm super honored that I got to be the first guest. That's crazy.
The very
Yeah.
first. And I feel like this just set the trajectory now. Like, we can have just anybody up in here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And like always, we'll leave you guys with our intentions. You want to start your intention?
Okay. So my intention this week is that I'm intentionally listening to the universe more effectively. You know, I think when I was walking my dog this morning, I realized like I was just in a rush. Like I had so much stuff to do. I was on emails. My dog's like whining at me, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take you in a second. I'm gonna take you. And it's like I go to take him for a walk, and one of my neighbors like, oh hey, how's it going? Like I haven't seen you in a while. And he's like, I noticed like I'm trying to hurry up and get Kenzo out and do his business so I can get back inside and get my life. And I realized like, oh, you're trying to have a conversation. And it was just like, okay, hi, like how's it going? Let me like stop for a second, interact with what's right in front of me in this moment. And it wasn't long, it wasn't like anything, but I think it was just the like practice of like, okay, Jordan,
Of being present.
just being present. Yeah.
Wait, was he trying to holla or
No,
he
no,
was
no,
just
no.
trying to...
No. I'm trying to say
Because
what's
that's
up?
different. Keep walking, sis.
That's what I was, well, I mean, unless you was feeling him or
Right.
just like, I just needed the
No.
context.
No,
Like,
no, definitely not. It's just some old guy. It's literally
It's a
nothing.
friendly neighbor.
Just a friendly neighbor that I haven't seen in a while, I guess. So
I guess.
yeah, yeah. Shit. Well, he wanted to talk, so
She's like, what's up? I guess
what's
he wanted to
up?
talk.
What's up? Hey, what's up? How you doing? But no, I think oftentimes I operate, and like most people, on autopilot, and you just like lose sight of what's right in front of you. It's just like, just chill, just take a breath. It's gonna be all right. We'll get to it.
You will.
Yeah.
Like, the only time that's real is right now.
Yeah.
I've been reading this book, and, you know, yesterday's gone. We don't know what's in front of us. So, like, the only time that's even, like, true and real is, like,
It's
right
right
now.
this second.
And when you detach yourself from that, then you're not being present, and you're not there.
Yeah.
You're like missing everything that's already happening right there.
Yeah, I feel like I do it a lot with listening. Like, I didn't notice it until somebody called me out on it recently. Of like, you're not really listening. Like, you're in 10 different places right now, in which I usually am because I got a lot of shit to go, like going on. But I notice and recognize like I can listen more just to listen, and receive more just to receive versus like constantly like nope and nope and doop and doop, like just be there and really take shit in for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's
In real time.
in real time. Bring it to the table. That's
What's
my
that?
intention.
What's the real time thing?
It's
Is it
just
inside
like
joke?
In
No,
real no. So
just-
it's I think that like I don't know. I say it a lot with work. Like I will update something and like I'll see updates in real time. So it's like I'm getting it in the moment, in real time.
The real time voice.
Oh.
Okay.
You make a lot of weird voices. There's no
There's
no
rhyme or
reason. It's just being weird.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's important.
My intention this week is I'm intentionally staying committed to the process. I don't know what I was reading or listening to, but something struck me and they said, the change happens when you continue to show up for yourself and push even when you're lacking motivation. And it's like, it's easy to show up and do your best when you feel great.
When you're on 10.
Yeah, if I'm on 10, I'm doing a million things and I feel good about it and I'm not tripping. But it's like when I don't feel my best, it's like, yeah, I don't want to do shit. But when you find the strength to just show up still, it's rewarding and it's like setting everything up for you later on. And I think we talked about this last week or the week before, like being in the process is where the growth happens. It's like you're here and then you want the growth, you want, you know, whatever the goal is. But in that process is like where all the good shit happens. That's where the learning happens. That's where like all of that happens. And I feel like we're so focused on the goal that we don't even like think about that. We're not present with it. We're not here in that moment. So I just want to stay committed to the process, however ugly or
I think sometimes
annoying, because that's how I felt this morning.
I think sometimes it's genuinely like survival mode. Like it's like I'm just getting through day by day, minute by minute, second by second of like, fuck, I just, you know, life is hard. And I think that comes into play of like, yeah, when you're not feeling, obviously you don't need those pep talks when you're feeling great. But I think when it's like, damn.
Like this morning I was so down to rearrange majority of my day until I got here and to like not do shit. Then I was like, get up. Like just stand up.
Yeah. Bitches is weak in the knees.
Stand up.
Right.
And then like, you know, it was shitty, whatever, but like about an hour and I was like, look at you, see. You didn't want to, but you did. And like this is gonna count later on. So I didn't see it at 7 a.m., but like I feel it now.
We never see it at 7 a.m. You did great, Bren. You made it happen.
I did it. Do you have an intention for us, for the guests to carry through the week?
Yeah, my intention this week has been to just walk in my most confident self. Like, what would my most confident self do? Check in with him real quick and then do that. You know what I'm saying? Like and like what helps me to do that is to just remember that like I'm dope. Like I'm good. Like I don't have to like shrink myself or be like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I know. This is what I do. I got this.
Yeah. And just check in with myself. Like, now, what would my most confident, how does he talk? How does he walk? How does he move through the world? Like, the version of myself that knows my value. So I've just been trying to do that. I've been trying to just.
Yes.
Channel him.
Yeah.
Because
Bring
everything
him
you need
around
is
more.
already
You
there.
know what I'm saying? I'm trying.
You're already them in your mind.
My mind instantly went to Me, Myself, and Irene when it's like Hank and Tom. When it's like...
He's like talking to himself?
Yeah, when it's like, oh, Hank's here again. And it's like, show up as like, you know, your most high self. Because I feel like the other shit is just like, for what?
None of that shit is real.
Literally for what?
Like when you feel low, it's like years of projection and other people telling you who you are anyways. So most times you know who you are
That's
already.
deep.
You know who you are.
This was just so heartwarming. Thank you so much for just spending your time with us and sharing this knowledge. I hope you men that have been watching and been needing a man's perspective. I hope you learned something. And
They're like, not this nigga though. Like,
they're like, what the fuck?
They're like, this is the dude you bring on the show. Like,
This
what
is
the
not
fuck?
what we meant. But, you know, I hope you did grow and, like, learn something. When we will bring, like, more kind of guy in here eventually.
Glad to know I'm not. Sorry. Damn. All right.
You're just, I feel like
Listen, kings. This is what you need to know. If you ever in a podcast with two sisters, you just need to move like the king that you are. Like you have an eagle on your back, lifting your soul up and flying you to the source of God within you.
Amen.
There you go. Now, amen. Now you go. Now you can be happy. All the dudes in the chat. I want to see the eagles. I want to see nothing but eagle emojis in the comments.
Oh, shit.
What that look like?
And let the people know where they can find you, because there's many places. What, you have your podcast?
Yeah, but if you go to my Instagram, it's at Richie Reseda. My link tree is
Just go crazy,
thorough.
because he does many things, and we'll put that in the description. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all next week.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Bye.
That was great.
Yay.
Thanks, Fred.
Thanks, friends. Yay. Okay,
Girl.
go tell Donnie.
Yep.
Go tell the man. Oh, we gotta talk to him still, huh? Yeah. I don't want to have an adult conversation. We just heard our video from last week. Like, we didn't even use it.
Oh, like it just wasn't, the quality wasn't it?
It's just not it.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
First guest in the
This was
tank.
the way it was supposed to be. I
Truly.
truly feel that in
I
my heart.
agree
Like,
too.
I was